Ethos of Silence.
A veteran podcast aims to amplify the voices of veterans, creating a safe space for authentic conversations about their experiences, challenges, and triumphs. We seek to break the stigma surrounding mental health and foster community support, resilience, and understanding. Through storytelling, expert insights, and candid discussions, we strive to inspire healing, promote awareness, and empower veterans on their journeys.
Welcome. We're live. Yeah, man. So we figured it out.
We got it figured out.
Like I was telling you, the relics and everything else, but the relics brought up, the core of what we're going to talk about. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're going to have a faith-based conversation. And what I was saying about faith, is
happy about it.
Well, you were accusing me of having a lack of faith because your definition of faith, what you're faithful in, and what you believe, might counter my beliefs just a little bit. But we both still have a very, very strong core of who we are and what we think faith is, right?
That's not I'll go with that. But my beliefs don't allow me to judge your faith base whatsoever. Because at one time, I was without what I conceivably have on a daily basis that gives me the faith to rise above our normal existence here on earth. So my faith doesn't allow me to judge any other individual. At one point I was sitting in AA talking about a higher power, and how a higher power was something. And I didn't know how significant that was to me at the time because I didn't know I was still angry at God from years ago from things happening. So that introduced me right back into it. So I reluctantly and vigorously moved back when someone has faith in something and their faith is different than, let's just face it, Scripture.
Yeah.
Non-Scripture, and about a creator and things. So I support every bit of that, and I let people build their assessments of it. Otherwise, if I believe that in my faith that I'm not the one that saves, that the Creator saves, I should probably get my arrogant little self out the way and let somebody reach their self to Him.
Yeah. No, so exactly arguing something with somebody who is just somebody trying to lie to me and sell me this energy drink over here and telling me that it's a Coca-Cola, it's pointless for me to sit there and have that conversation with them. I might as well just go ahead and leave. Yeah, so I get that. I understand that.
Let somebody see their views, our bruises and our experiences. Because even to just refer back to the experience before and what my now founded faith is, I was at a point where I looked at something differently and defined something differently. And let people figure it out.
I have a theory that your faith is so strong that, dude, I've known you for a minute now, and I've been in some pretty stressful situations with you, and we've been in some pretty hot spots with just around the people and keeping the peace, which you find a way to do. But also
I've had some instances where I did not want to keep the peace on somebody.
Of course. But along those lines still is the fact that you said you went through AA, right? Mm. And you have not touched alcohol. Maybe you have shared a shot with a veteran over some symbology and some other different stuff like that. But for the most part, when we're drinking, you have a non-alcoholic beverage or a non-alcoholic shot. Even when you're doing stuff with people, your shot glass is empty when we're cheersing the stuff, which is something that that is extremely
burps like real beer too.
That's extremely impressive that you have that willpower and that faith, right? So what makes the AA and the 12-step process of AA and all that stuff, how are you able to do that? It's
a very, very good question, and let's leave it at that point and not bounce to anything above anything. So it's the AA is based on the infallibility, the fallibility of a human and the infallibility of the Creator. So when you're left with just the simplicities in your life to look around and whatever's in that moment, someone's lost everything. There's no distractions. They're at an open mind and an open heart, an open posture, an open heart posture.
Yeah.
You can simply look at the sun, the moon, the stars, and the creation, and then seeing that there's a higher power adapted that really brings it back into a perspective per person to go, well, there's this simple world that we live in, and then that's the three things we learned in school, right? I think it's what man versus man versus nature, and then man versus himself. Those are the three. So those can get overcome through those 12 steps. Each step is dealing with yourself. Obviously, yourself is your main reasoning has been lost, control has been lost, and so dealing with breaking down how that happened, what put you into those positions, accepting those terms, and then still dealing with that, but then still looking at you're okay, come back, everything is in control. Look at the reality, because we live in a place where even outside of our own self-destructive control, a reality is happening that it is in control. Look at the birds singing. Look at the world, how it's going. It goes up, sun comes up every day, everything goes back down. And that's what AA does, is try to put someone back in the basics seat to say, you're here, you're okay, you're hurting, you've gone through alcohol, drugs, sexual abuse, whatever it's been, but it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a reality that's in control. And I'm trying to grasp for all of the 12 steps, but it does start off letting you know, we probably should bring those up, but it lets you know that you no longer have control.
Yeah, no, I mean, we can jump into 12 steps at another time. It's just loosely faith-based is that, what you've done and having something to cling on to. And I know that's kind of sort of loosely in the 12 steps. They're not trying to tell everybody that they need to have faith in a higher power, but they're telling them they need to have faith that tomorrow's going to come no matter what. So in reality, that's exactly what you're telling them to have faith in. Yeah. But without labeling it as a higher power, you're labeling as the world's going to continue to spin.
Well, they label it as, and that is the gospel of AA, if I can use that. But they are saying that there is a higher power.
Yeah.
They're saying there is a higher power.
Well, because
you just don't realize
when you're trying to do something that is just, when you're trying to break an addiction, right? When you're trying to break an addiction, you need something to cling on to that's bigger and stronger than yourself, right? It's the same thing as us going to war and the ethos and clinging to something bigger and higher than yourselves.
Most definitely.
So the 12-step process, it makes sense, and it works off of that.
Yeah, here's a we'll just do this real quick. It's just a quick overview. It's just a little quick Google thing, but it says the 12 steps programs provide a structured and gradual process of recovery. It works by helping change thoughts, behaviors, and relationships related to addictions, whatever it might be, the feelings of war, PTSD, drugs, situation. The process involves admitting you have a problem, seeking help from others, making amends for past harms, and living a sober and responsible life. But what it doesn't also say in there is that with this comes embarrassment, humility.
Oh, no.
All the great
we're going to have to, I mean, that's the perfect thing. We've been talking about needing to put this down. We'll put this down tonight, because that's just something that's going to flow naturally. We'll get here, we'll question and say and get to the root cause of what it is, and possibly understand just a little bit of what torments us all on our own.
Mm-hmm, for sure. Pride would keep someone as it's a chain, and that keeps that torment you talk about, and it's what we don't want to let go of. And pride's a strong chain, but pride is not. I don't believe that pride is naturally is something faced as we grow up, unless it was. I guess I'm basing it off of just a normal household or a normal upbringing where you're seeing the world. I think something has to occur and happen and harden somebody to hold on to that for whatever reason, because that's their reality.
Well,
across the world, whatever it might be. So.
But pride comes back to being a man and protecting your individual values and everything else. And there's part of that goes beyond, and there's part of that has to be done, because to be a man, you have to be the one who stands up and says, no, that's not the right thing to do. No, we're not going that direction. No, my family, that is not the correct decision or correct direction. You have to be a man, you have to be able to stand up and tell your family, no, like, we are not doing that. That is not the correct direction for this family. That is not the correct financial move. We are not putting our marbles in that bucket because we are not financially stable to make that move.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Like, you have to put your foot down. You have to stand for something, or you'll fall for everything.
Absolutely.
And there is a line in the sand. And where pride comes with all that, I mean, oh, man.
No, that's big. I mean, that's our, and it feels so natural to a man to go, that is where I stand, and I'm not moving off of it. And you find that position in it.
Yeah,
I think everybody's really looking for that, but there's so many that are lost from one way or another down the road. What happens?
Just the illusion of standing for something that's not real, and the ground the rug gets pulled from underneath you because you have these retarded values where you're standing for something that it's like, it doesn't even make sense. If you were to take it and isolate it and put it all by itself on an island, it doesn't make sense. You would not be fighting for this. If I was to word it a different way and change some of these words around, you would still not be talking that you're for what you're talking for. You're just standing on this high horse for no reason.
But family's a value, man. Family's worth fighting for. It's something to stand on. I mean, even like this island theory, you said you're going to want some companionship on the island. That's your mind and your soul is going to crave that and want that. So you're going to hold on to it and cling to it. A natural person will hold on and cling to it for whatever reason. But I think and I say normal, but I mean, I think everybody, and I go back to the faith always mixes with influence when it comes to, when I get into conversations about faith, whatever it comes, influence, and to me breaks down into several categories.
Everything ebbs and flows into each other when we're talking about the universe, though, because I walk into a room and all these things hit me at once. It's not an individual thing. We might be able to break them up and talk about them individually, but I mean, they're all come together as the entire process that heals you, that gives you the resources and the strength to go through everything that's going on. So I mean, it's not an individual thing.
Yeah. You mean like when you check a room out, what you kind of get a discernment about the whole room or what's going on in it, or the feelings of what's happening, or just the whole gist of the room?
Just the whole gist of everything we're talking about. You're saying some of the things ebbs and flow into each, and everything ebbs and flows into each other, because just the core foundation of it, the foundation has to be there for the pillars to stand. Even though we got 4 pillars there that hold the entire Coliseum up, these 4 pillars are holding the stands that are holding all the fans. The foundation's not there, the pillars fall. And you need all of the 4 pillars for everything to stay together. So I mean, you need all 5 things. You need a strong foundation, and you need each one of those pillars to withstand the load of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So I mean, it all comes together in one way or another.
The world has always been looking to have faith in something. If you're looking from the individual who's just beginning to look at life on a level of their own challenges with faith and what to believe in, or you're looking at someone who's been into it for the longest amount of time, and they're looking at it historically. They're looking at humanity historically.
Well, I mean, why do you think so many people fall for these false idols, and you've got these people making up their own religions and following their own things and everything else? Because they crave so much to follow something, but they lack the intestinal fortitude to look in the mirror and accept the fact that they are a flawed person.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being a flawed person, but you need to accept the fact that you're a flawed person. You need to acknowledge that you need to work on those flaws.
I think they call the funny terms, they call those yes people. They just yes to everything.
There's a bunch of them out there. Yes to their lust,
yes to their selfishness. I mean, every person that's sitting in jail potentially, or that did something aggravated towards someone, is a yes person. They didn't have the ability to stop and say, no, that is not right. It's something you in depth look to yourself and say, would I do that to myself? No, I would not do that to someone else. And I'm not going to do that to someone else, but everybody's yes people. And so, yeah, definitely with idols, it's yes, that's great. They're not asking me to do anything. I don't have to give up all these things,
exactly. They just
get this.
They just want me to be following, be a sheep, be part of the crowd. I've been looking to be part of a crowd. I need a group to follow anyway.
For sure, and it leads to death and destruction. It has no. It just whittles somebody down.
Your brain's a beautiful thing, but whenever you allow it to just be washed and believe somebody else's beliefs, and you're like a just zombie following the herd.
Right. Be somebody who stands up and say something and challenges it, and see how much those same people like you, or actually how they're going to turn around and hate you.
Yeah.
Because you're questioning. I'm not going that way.
You're questioning it.
You don't see that? See what? Heaven forbid they wake up and you show it to them and they just flip out because you just showed it to them.
The perfect analogy for the way that I attack life, right, is the difference between the cow and the bull in the storm. You ever heard this one?
Is this about milking the... No, this is about... That's some good milk that you got from the cow.
No, dog.
We haven't had cows here in a while. We got a bull.
You know what a cow does in the storm? If there's a storm on the horizon coming from the west, which way is the cow going to run?
Coming from the west?
Coming from the west. Which way is the cow going to run?
Away from it to the trees?
Cow's going to run to the east. Run is a little hard out. And what's going to happen to the cow? He's going to get tired. He's going to get exhausted. And then he's going to be caught in the storm.
Exhausted.
Right? He's going to run. And the storm's going to catch him. And then he's going to be exhausted running in the storm. And then the storm's going to, go through. You know what the bull does? The bull runs to the west. The bull runs head first into the fucking storm, gets it over with.
Yeah. While he's got the strength, he fights the storm. Yeah.
The difference between the cow and the bull.
I like it. That makes sense to me. Yeah. This world we live in, great entanglement. I just had a great conversation out of the blue with a family member recently. And it was just one of those, man, I had a bad day. It's just that bad day.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Bad.
And there's no good coming out of it. And the thought comes back down to so far from faith, but they're like, I just don't even know if I want to do this anymore. I don't know what life is I'm doing.
Yeah.
And at this point, from how much I've whittled down with studying what I believe and what I've experienced that has attacked me and that has pushed me to the edge.
Okay.
I always ask the one thing, did you pray about it? Or did you have some kind of meditation? No, I didn't. How long has it been? Oh, I can't even remember last time I thought about it.
It's been that long and you haven't taken the time to reflect on what's going on and allow a higher power to present you with an answer.
I think that this world is pulling everybody to death. They're just
always
leading them right there.
Well, I mean, what's unavoidable in life? Death and taxes, right?
That's right.
Like the government's like the mafia. They're gonna get their share. And then you're going to die eventually. And then they're going to take even more.
Yep. And we don't have to be that. We're made so much more. Just quite as much as we look at the lifetime that's short that we're going to live, and the beautiful world that we live in. It's just looking at the beautiful world and how it was made. From that context, someone should be able to surmise that it's all balanced equally. I too can be balanced equally.
Yeah.
In my mind and in my family, in my thoughts. And what's triggering me? What's not triggering me? Are my emotions offset with some things? For me, I'm a pouty face, so I get emotional when I see a husband and wife pray together.
So, without saying any names. One last story, then we'll jump into our 12 steps, right?
Okay.
So let's get into some details of when we were up at the conference, right? And you didn't come back to the room because we packed away all the bar and all the other different stuff last night at the conference, right?
Oh my gosh.
And we had a veteran who was there who, out of the goodness of their heart, was helping us, but was helping us way too much to just, be a helping hand. You know what I mean? Like they're giving somebody a helping hand, and then there's like reaching and grasping for straws and wanting somebody to communicate with you, and you just want that personal connection, right?
Wow, you really still remember that too.
And you took the step and gave them the time that they needed.
I can't believe you still remember that.
Of course, dude.
Of course, I don't put a past
like
I mean it that way.
Okay. Anyways,
wow. Yeah. Go ahead.
But without saying any names or any details of what's going on, as loosely as you can, like jump into the fact of there's situations in life where you run across people, right? And that's one of the best parts about being in VSOs is you run across all these veterans and you can tell when somebody has that glazed over look. I can tell when I need the therapy of sitting down with you and doing this podcast. Yeah. I can tell when I need this therapy of just talking theories out in my head without giving any details of the struggles of life.
Yeah. Yeah. That is just glazed over. That's what I look at it as. I mean, I'm seeing what you're saying. That's that's working for me because that's what I experienced too, TJ. That guy, yeah. I mean, he was. It was. Yeah, I caught every glimpse of it, and it went to a point where it should have just unfolded as a night, like you said, and just closed out. But every gesture and point the gentleman was making was, I need to talk about something, and he just didn't know what he needed to talk about.
Yeah.
And we packed those last few things away, put them down, said thank you, and I think I was even pushing to get out of one side of the room to get up to the room because I was exhausted.
No, I mean, those conferences are long days. We were doing a lot of podcasting. We were doing a lot of circles. Me and you were doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff that it's like, how do you not have this coordinated with the fact that you do this as often and everything else, and you want me at the drop of a hat to do what? Yeah. Like your planning is the fact to rely on a guy who randomly showed up with some podcast gear to tell him to go run and do this and run and do that and do these errands, and it's like, I'm here, I can do it, not a big deal. But
here we go. Let's go.
I would like to know the steps that failed prior to this for what your planning was. Please show me your 5-paragraph order for what the hell was supposed to happen here. Like all of you were supposed to be these.
That was a great impression that was set, by the way, by you. I mean, I think even the top leaders had took notice to it, but whether they commented on it in a way that gave that away, I don't know. But back to the guy in the room, I was already past getting to the point of, I knew my body was out the door, and my mind was already halfway down the hall and up the thing. But the points kept coming of, okay, well, thanks, and all right, okay, well, I can push this down the hall. But moments ago, you had 6-7 beer, and you were surrounded by friends and laughing about something. And then over to here, it took me to that one stop to go, okay, I see what's up now.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. I'm stopped. I'm going to talk. That's what I have to do.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's our calling. The calling happens, and you and me both have a gift to be able to read people.
For sure.
And read their emotions, read what they have going on, and read different things. And you owe it to yourself. You owe it to our buddies who aren't here with us, and our buddies who are struggling, to be that buddy who stops and helps somebody. And I mean, you don't even per se know them on a first name, I've had dinner with them basis. But
because it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
You grab that guy up, you grab that girl up, and you start talking. What's going on? Are you okay? You okay, buddy? Well, oh, that's going on with you. Well, you know what? I'm thinking about you too. And I think you're right. You are going to be fine. Get that time out to recoup that little bit of what they need. He needed it. I always hit him with the one I hit him. I hit him with I hit him that night with, do you know Christ as your Savior? And it was just like, bam. Do you want to stop there, or do you want to roll through this one?
No, we're good. We're good. Just checking.
I hit him with it because it is that one impact of I get clear, concise answers or opposition from the next questions I'm about to ask them. And it's almost that iron rubbeth iron, because I bring out the iron. And it's like, rubbing iron is not, it's not just tink, tink. It's metal rubbing and grinding. There's head buttings. There's maybe an FU, or there might be even a lie. There could be anything that happens in that. But what we have as brothers is to see that, and no matter what had happened in that moment, are you all right at the end of the conversation, number one? And then the next day is like, Brad, never even really happened.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I mean, so we're all veterans. Stuff rolls off our skin, you know, like you and almost getting into it with the Army Ranger over me, you know, like, hey man, it's almost like that never happened. We run into him again, and I mean, we'll come in his hat and keep on rolling, right?
It was all good. There were 3 of them pulling guard. I guess they were going to do what they were trying to do, but they were not doing what was the right thing to do.
Nowhere close, right? No, that's all right.
So lost in that situation. Right. And maybe they've contemplated, I'm sure, as veterans too. I'm like, I seen it the next day when they were like,
yeah. They definitely wanted to buy your beer the next day. And like, hey, dog, I don't even drink.
I don't drink, bro. You got to wear that hat, man. And I did wear his hat. Thanks, brother, by the way. I still got that hat.
Still got it, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sitting in my living room.
I hear you.
But this guy, he got hit with the fact that frontline one that I use. And I felt sometimes it changes whatever it is conceivably, but that one needed.
Off of that question, you can feel out the direction. You need to take the conversation to help the person, because at the end of the day, you're not trying to shatter their reality. You're trying to help them. So in that zone, right? But what are some of the things in that zone, right? Because even civilians can come across us. I mean, what are some of those things in that zone that you don't want to say, that they don't want to tell us, that would send us in the wrong direction? You know, like completely ignoring us is a fucking. It's almost like a reality. Like, you remember that class where they said the QRP training, where the guy rode the bus and he rode the bus to the Golden Gate Bridge, and he said, "I'm going to jump. If anybody ever just acknowledge me, I won't jump." You know, and the guy he jumped from the bridge and he lived to tell his story. But, you know, he walked past the damn guard on duty who makes sure that people don't jump off the bridge. They got police officers on the bridge. You know what I mean? Walked past everybody there, and nobody acknowledged him. Nobody acknowledged him on the bus ride there. Nothing.
A dead world. Yeah. This guy got it.
So it's not to not acknowledge somebody. That's not the right thing to do by far.
No.
That small, like the door greeter at Walmart saying hello, and now them harassing you with the receipts. Them harassing you with the receipts is a little much. Yeah. But them saying hello, I mean, that changes the perception of your day walking into the store from being in I need to get this and this done, to a hello, hey, how you doing? You know, what's going on? It ups your. I mean, you get your endorphins rolling. You're in a happier mood than in I got to get all this stuff out, and then got to wait in line like cattle, and then, you know, have them prod through all my stuff and everything else to just, you know, check out.
Yeah. You can follow up with the least of little things. Somebody's going to have that. Well, I don't know. It's just not a good day. Well, the sun is shining, I guess. Well, don't you like the sun shining? Well, you know, whether they answer or not, they pull off. At least there's a little bit of reciprocation of that. There's possibility the sun is shining on. And I mean, think about it.
What about tomorrow? Yeah. What about this? What about that? You know, what do you have to look forward to? Today might suck, but I mean, tomorrow, you know, the grass will be gold. The grass will be a little higher. The sun will shine. You know, like today sucks. It's raining, but tomorrow the sun will shine. Or it's raining. That means we can go run around naked in the rain.
Yeah,
you know,
we have the gift in those that want to have the awkwardness to not understand that being a loving person and being a kind person and tender to someone is not a true weakness. You get kind and treat someone like a brother. That's really all. That's what that person wanted to feel, just brother, for a second.
I describe myself as a happy-go-lucky person walking around, and I'm a walking dad joke. I will make the stupidest joke about the stupidest thing that goes with the conversation, and it might be the most inappropriate thing in the world, and everybody's going to turn their head and look at me, but they're going to see the smile on my face, and they're going to nod.
And the contagious laughter.
The contagious laughter and the smile.
Absolutely. Jesus always talked about brotherhood and all those things. But look, this guy, he got hit with that one, and his whole demeanor dropped. And as you know, it went into 4 or 5 hours into the night from at that moment wanting to pack my stuff and get out of there.
Yeah.
And we sat down, and he fought them. He had from a lot of my looks into what affects us. My studies bring us more to scripture-wise about things that have come down from our family that have been cursed. I don't want to get into that, but things that have influenced us, that decisions we have made, that regret that we carry with us, things that we've done to people that we haven't forgiven ourselves and forgiven other people for.
Yeah.
That is a great big weight to carry. And he had just tons of it on him. And he fought me back and forth all night.
Well, I mean,
but I put the spirit of that you have, just like I have, in front of him with the most truth that I could. It's that, well, I'm just going to keep trying and keep doing this. Well, are you? Are you really going to do that?
Yeah.
Well, I have been doing this, and I've been trying to situate it that way, but I don't know that I should really go home. And I think if I just have, this lifestyle that I want with lust and sleeping with women that I'm not happy with, I'll be okay. Are you going to be happy?
Yeah.
Is that what the truth that that makes men and women happy? No,
of course not.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And he fought. And I seen him. That guy just literally talked his way to figuring himself out of that whole grip that was on him. But I love seeing him work himself out of it.
Yeah.
Giving him that strength to pull. And I'm not going to do that.
Because you're not there to give them advice. You're there them to find their own way and find their own path and to be there for them, but to be there for them to say that and do that.
Yeah, that's been done for me a bunch of times. It is beautiful. It's been done for me many a times.
It's been done for me many a times too. And I mean, that's why I'm so, I don't know, so caught on symbolism.
Believe in the
system. Why I'm so caught on symbolism. It's why every last ring I wear, every last thing I have, every last symbol behind it means something. And I'm like, oh wow, why is there a little Harrier? Why is there the little engineer symbol on the box? Why is there this? Why every last symbolism means something to me, and not very many people are going to understand it, and that's fine. Yeah. It's to help me carry all of my burdens through life. And help me remember what I've been through, because if you've been through everything else and you're still here, it just shows how strong you are.
Well, you should keep all of that, and you shouldn't have to forget any of it. That's not where your beliefs have led you to be. Those things that was a system, a good system that worked, and that should be right out in the front.
Well,
you see it.
You hit the nail on the head.
Look at it.
When something works, you do what works. We're not trying to recreate the wheel here. All right, brother, we had 30 minutes. Any final words?
Nope. Love yourself and love one another.
I hear you. Iron sharpens iron. That's all we're doing here, babe.
Oh. If you need more information on veterans benefits, please visit our website at VFWPost4224.org. That's Victor Foxtrot Whiskey, Post 4224.org. All of our contact information is in the description of the video. Please email us if you have any questions. We now have a moment of silent prayer for those still in the battle, for our departed comrades, for those missing in action, and for those held as prisoners of war.